Hi everyone, it's Roger and James here from the What's On at Disney Plus podcast. In this week's episode, we're going to be kind of talking about Disney Plus Day and D23, what to expect, etc. We'll also be sharing our thoughts on some of this week's new news, plus some other show reviews and bits and pieces to expect. Going to be a lot of great stuff this week because next week is the D23 Expo. We've got Disney Plus Day taking place the day before. On the Thursday, it's going to be a real hectic week. We're going to be out there at the D23 Expo. We're going to be going to some panels. We're going to be doing some bits and pieces. We'll be seeing all the pavilions, all the activations. We're going to be going to Disneyland. We're also planning on recording a special podcast episode because we'll be in the same room for the first time ever. So that's going to be a bit interesting. But a quick bit of housekeeping. If you haven't already done so, make sure you do check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Also, and I can't stress this enough, follow us on Twitter, Disney Plus News. That's where I'm going to be posting probably photographs and stuff like that. I'm going to say that rather than like Instagram stuff because I just like Twitter more. That's just my personal preference. So I'll be posting bits and pieces there. Next week, there will be a podcast on the Saturday where me and Casey are going to be talking about Disney and Netflix. I literally just recorded that an hour ago. So there is a podcast next week as per usual. We pre-recorded that one. There was a special live Q&A that we're doing on Sunday evening. I'm doing tomorrow, and that's going to be open to all subscribers. It's not going to be we're going to be just like our Disney Plus Day one, so that'll be a bit of an extended one. There will be no live Q&A next week because, as I said, we'll be out in D23. News videos and stuff are going to be a little bit erratic. I'm going to be planning on getting up as much stuff as I can, but schedule is out the window. We're not going on any schedule. It's what I can get around to, how fast the internet in the hotel is, and whether or not I'm asleep by jet lag or exhaustion. That's the thing. But I've got plans and stuff, so it's going to be a very, very busy week. It's going to be a busy week. Right, so let's kick things off. First off, Disney Plus Day takes place on Thursday the 8th. There's going to be lots of new content dropping on that day. We're going to be getting Cars on the Road, Dancing with the Stars, the pro's most memorable dances. That's only in the US and Canada. Epic Adventures with Bertie Gregory, which I'm going to be talking about a little bit later on. Some Frozen sing-alongs, Growing Up, a new episode of She-Hulk, Thor Love and Thunder, the making of Thor Love and Thunder, the Obi-Wan Kenobi making of series, Pinocchio, a brand new movie. We're also getting Remembering in the US, and that's going to have some like augmented reality app to go alongside it. A new Simpsons short, Terra Incognita, which is a Latin America Disney Plus original. There's also going to be internationally a new series called Wedding Season. Really good, really worth checking that one out. I love this. Was such a great series. I can't wait to watch the last few episodes from this series. Again, I'll talk about that one a little bit later on. And also, we're going to be getting Mike here in the UK. They're holding on to it. Everybody else has already got a couple episodes. But for us over here, it's going to be nice. So it's going to be a big day. There's going to be lots of events taking place at Disneyland in California. There's also in Walt Disney World, Disneyland Paris, and in Hong Kong. There's going to be special food, blue churros, which I'm going to be honest, just make look like I'd go sick. I mean, the amount of American food and coloring is just like it just, yeah, I can't even vaguely look at it and go, that's just a migraine on a plate.
Churros in general.
I love churros, but the Americans it's just I don't want all the coloring. I don't need it. Beige is perfectly fine. The color of a churro. So there's going to be lots of bits and pieces, some photo opportunities and stuff. They have said there's going to be some surprises. There's going to be some offers. So there's going to be lots of stuff to look out for. Now I'm going to say this, and I've said this many times, and I'm going to say it again. Nowhere in the press releases does it state that there's going to be any announcements. We don't be expecting an investor day or the Disney Plus Day last year where they were announcing stuff every half an hour to an hour, every 10 minutes on Twitter. A lot of this stuff is going to be held back for the D23 Expo, which we're going to talk about in a bit as a kind of a roundup. There might be some announcements. I'm not going to say there's going to be none because there could be, but I'm expecting none. And therefore, if there's a few extra ones, maybe like Bad Batch Season 2 coming on the 28th, that they keep Disney keep releasing and then deleting. They've done it 3 times so far. So that's probably the likelihood of that getting announced next week is probably quite high now. So things like that. There might be some, like Season 3's been announced of this, or we might get some little things, but please don't expect Marvel shows, Marvel trailers. I can't see them doing that. They're the wording in the press releases is very much away from news, isn't it?
It is. I'm kind of more expecting teasers, something like we have an announcement to make regarding the Moon Knight or the Werewolf by Night series. Tune in on Saturday where we will release more details at the Marvel panel, even though that's not being streamed. But so things like that, where they will be teasing stuff coming at D23 rather than making outright announcements. They may announce smaller shows, ones that really aren't going to build up that much hype, and people at the Hall D23 are not going to get super excited for, so they might announce things like that. But the big announcements, they're all coming over the weekend.
Yeah, maybe like some National Geographic stuff or something like that. That could be very awesome. Disney Channel things. I'm not saying there's not going to be any, but I'm not expecting a barrage of news because I keep seeing. I mean, like yesterday, Disney put up a tweet with Logan from Wolverine, and his claws were coming out, and so he had 6 because it was 6 days until Disney Plus Day. The day before, they put up a Monsters Inc. character that had 7 fingers. Of course, the whole internet then completely overreacted and started going, "They're going to do an X-Men announcement on Disney Plus." It's like, no, he just had 6. He was 6. Today there's probably going to be a tweet that will say 5, and tomorrow there'll be one with 4. And it's just like things are just like seeing people just getting so caught up in the excitement over announcements, and just like you're seeing, and like the best one like this week really got me was there's been a couple of things. First off, a D23 poster went out, and all D23 members are going to be able to pick up for free. And it's got characters and stuff on there. It looks lovely. I want to pick one up. But everyone's going through all these. Oh, they're going to announce this. They're going to announce this. It's like, no, it's just a poster with lots of Disney characters in. There's not going to be a new Dumbo, and they were like Pete's Dragons in it, and go, like everyone was like pinning in on like the Disney and on the Marvel and the Star Wars. They're gonna like, no, there's Pete's Dragon and Dumbo in this thing. It's just a poster. Another one. All the banners outside the convention center. There's a big Spider-Man one. Like he is a Marvel character. There's also Buzz Lightyear. There's also Mickey. There's also Rocket, and Mandalorian and all the rest of it. But everyone's just zoomed in on. They're going to announce Spider-Man 4. I'm like, no,
probably not. No,
I mean it'd be nice, but it was just like it's like they're celebrating Disney. They're celebrating 100 years of Disney. All the characters are being used. It's just sometimes it's just like I'm reading this and going, man, this is just so over analyzing everything.
Well, there's no real news this week up until, I mean, there's a little bit, but yeah, the internet loves to find clues and find a conspiracy and everything, which isn't to say there won't be announcements. Hell, they may have Spider-Man 4. They might have the Logan sequel with X-23. Chances are they probably won't. But it's important to remember D23 is a celebration of everything that Disney has done as well as will do. So when you see these posters and they're throwing back and there's Pete Dragon there, that doesn't mean it's something in the future. It's them celebrating Pete's Dragon in the past.
Yeah. It's just I feel a little bit like it's like I've just seen so many people just getting so caught up in the excitement over it all, and you're just like just it's like I want you guys to be excited, but you're reading. It's that kind of weird thing, like, and there's so many fake like Twitter accounts going Deadpool 3 confirmed. Like, where just come out your butt.
It's good to be excited. We all are excited for D23, obviously, whether you're going there physically or not, but it is not good to get excited now at the expense of getting massively disappointed later. So keep the expectations in check, but still get excited because we know there's going to be a lot of really cool things coming, but it's not going to be because they hid a tiny little, like you can see Spider-Man's hand in the poster, which means Tobey Maguire is going to be doing a new Spider. No, it's not going to be stuff like that, guys.
No, it was a little bit bad because it was just a little bit like of just really overstretching. It's like they are going to, we don't know what they're going to announce, but yeah, sometimes it's just like the banners outside the building are just, they've just opened up Avengers Academy in California Adventure. It would make sense for them to push the fact that Spider-Man is, and then it's just one of those things. It's just like I've seen a lot of it, and it's just like just. And I feel I always go into this. I feel like I've been saying this for the Investors Day, the Disney Plus days in the past, where it's just like bring everyone, just come down a little bit. and then you'll be really excited. It's like Christmas. It's like if you're going in and just like trying to squeeze and shake all your gifts, you might not get it right. But yeah, so just be aware of it. So running through some of the stuff that's going to be happening over the weekend. So as I said, we've got Disney Plus Day on the Thursday. So it's going to be like and it's being, and even in the press release, it kind of states this is the warm up into D23. So a couple of quick things to look out. There is going to be a live stream happening from the D23. They've got a stage. There's going to be presentations. Only some of the presentations are. There is one presentation which we're going to get into in a minute, which is going to be live on stream. We might as well talk about it now. And this is on Saturday afternoon. This is going to be Disney's Epic Entertainment Showcase, the musical The Extravaganza. Okay, so this is taking place from 3:30 p.m. to 5:15 Pacific time. It is going to be live on YouTube and Twitter, so everyone at home can watch. This. I love this. I do really like this. So we're going to be getting a load of information. So let me just bring up the list because there's a lot of stuff in here. So what we do know, we're going to be seeing something from American-Born Chinese, Growing Up, High School Musical, the musical, the series, National Treasure, Edge of History, Percy Jackson and the Olympians. That we know that the author is going to be there and some surprise guests. So hopefully we know who they are. We're also going to be seeing from Prom Pact and maybe Doogie Kamealoha MD, Choir, which is a new documentary and also a live action series that they're working on. The Muppets Mayhem. I really hope we get to see Kermit. He's going to happen,
Kermit. Kermit's one of the top tiers, so I don't know.
Yeah. We are actually. No, we're going to see Lily Singh and the Electric Mayhem, including Dr. T, Floyd, Lloyd, Zoot, Janice, and Animal. So Animal, that's going to be so cool because I remember seeing a show in the Magic Kingdom a few years ago, and I'm standing there watching all the Muppets doing stuff out the window, and my wife is saying I'm standing there like a 5-year-old, just like this. It's the Muppets.
I was so sad when they canceled that show. It's the one over in Patriot Square, right, where they're doing the American or world history, but only the American parts. I loved that show. I was sad when that went away.
So we're going to see the Muppets, and we're also going to see the people from Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, because obviously season 2 is coming up. So hopefully we get a release date for that. The Santa Clauses, including Tim Allen. He's going to be there along with Cal Penn, Elizabeth Mitchell, and Matilda Loyler. We're also going to be seeing Zombies 3. So they're going to be there, and there's going to be some performances. So there's going to be, I expect High School Musical and Zombies 3 will be doing a performance. I feel like it's going to be really weird watching High School Musical 3 or the musical team performing, because I've watched the show and I watch it every week. I think it's just going to be really weird seeing them doing it in person, but that's just me. We also got Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, Phileas and Ferb. So they're going to be there. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a new movie announced or a new series, because I know they've got the hamster show, but why mention Phileas and Ferb with Swampy? So I'm guessing there might be something announced there, because the movie must have done quite well.
I suspected it, man. It was a pretty solid movie. We went into it completely blind, having not really seen Phineas and Ferb before that, and enjoyed it quite a bit. Hamster and Gretel. They're pushing that one pretty hard this year.
Raven's Home and Under Wraps 2 will be presented, along with Alice's Wonderland Bakery, Firebuds, Marvel's Spidey and His Amazing Friends, and Mickey Mouse Funhouse. So those are all going to be part of the big presentation. So you're going to be able to watch that live on YouTube or Twitch, on Twitter, Facebook, Carrier Pigeon, whichever way they're kind of getting out there. So that one really, to be honest, to me is the big Disney Plus thing for everyone this year. That's the big presentation from D23 that all us Disney Plus fans can really get excited, because there's some great stuff in there. I suspect we're going to see some trailers, some first looks, some posters, maybe some release dates. This is an hour and 45-minute presentation. The amount of time they've got, I mean, it looks like it's going to be quite speedy with that amount of people. There's probably going to be pretty fast paced.
That does seem like the name of the game this year for a lot of the presentations. There are, they combined like Marvel and Star Wars into one panel, and it's like, you guys are you're gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about, things like that.
Yeah. The only thing I did think of the other day was, you remember back to the Investors Day of 2020, and it was about 5 to 6 hours long, and they were just like, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one. Well, if you add the 3 showcases together, that's over nearly 6 hours. So that's literally gonna be just like, but they spread it over 2 days, so it's a little bit less. So it won't be. But yeah, I'm being honest. I'm really looking forward to watching this show. I think because I know it sounds a bit more fun with the title. I'm looking forward to some of these shows. The Muppets, National Treasure, Santa Claus, and Percy Jackson, and American Born Chinese. They all look like they're going to be some good shows.
There's a lot to be looking forward to in that specific panel, and the fact that they're broadcasting it to everyone is a really good sign that they have faith in this panel being entertaining and having things that people are going to want to learn about. Yeah, we talked plenty about the parks one. We talked plenty about the Marvel one. This is actually going to be a pretty big one as well, though.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I'm putting it on my this is going to be a fun. This one could be one of the oh, this one was fun. So yeah, so that one's going to be a big one. Everyone's going to be able to take part in that one and watch it live. Some other ones. So we've got 2 studio showcases. One is going to be on the Friday at 3:30 to 5:30. So it's a 2.5 hours, 2 hours. And it's going to be featuring Walt Disney Animation Studios, Pixar, and Walt Disney Studios. So there's going to be a lot of stuff in this one, which is pretty good. Which I think that one's good. But we know we're not going to be able to record or anything. So this one's going to be, everyone's going to have to be relying on them putting out the information on Twitter. So I think we're going to be seeing stuff that they're not going to release.
Right, and these panels normally have a lot of security involved with them. So I know that there are normally leaks. Someone will get their phone and Periscope it. That's not a thing anymore. But I remember watching someone Periscope.
Yeah.
So if you search around, you might be able to find something, but don't be disappointed if you can't, because Disney has been getting better year after year of making sure people don't have the tools to do that.
And also as well, if they put out some of the trailers, my gut saying we're probably going to see a trailer for Disenchanted. We'll probably see trailers for I'm trying to think what else we've got. There'll be probably some stuff coming up from Walt Disney Studios that'll be like the next few movies. I mean, Disenchanted, I was a bit like, they could do that on Disney Plus Day, or they might do it here. I'm a little bit I'm a bit like, it might hit a bit better. It depends on how much they can show, because if they can't show a lot from it, maybe some of the other movies and stuff don't come out. But yeah, so that one's going to be an interesting panel. I'm looking forward to that one. As I said, on Saturday, the big one that a lot of people are really excited for, obviously, is the 10 o'clock in the Studio Showcase Day 2, which is Marvel Studios, Lucasfilm, and 20th Century Studios. 2 hours, so this is going to be a long one. I'm hoping maybe an hour for Marvel and an hour for 2. I think that's probably how it might work. So there's going to be a lot of stuff to be announced here. I'm expecting, if they're going to do Werewolf by Night, this is where they're going to announce it, because if they're not doing it this one, it ain't coming out this year. That's my gut. We probably might see some footage, a scissor reel of maybe Echo, maybe a Secret Invasion clip, or some kind of something from there, because that's the next one coming next year. Maybe also some confirmation of some other projects, maybe like Nova. We might find out who the Fantastic Four are going to be, maybe who are going to be some of the characters in Thunderbolts. Maybe a first look, I would imagine, at the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. I think that's probably likely.
I would expect a clip from Black Panther 2, like not a trailer, but an actual clip, because they normally do at least one clip per show. I know we had like Avengers Infinity War 1 year. They showed the clip where Thor meets up with the Guardians for the first time. So they'll probably stuff from Black Panther. Again, though, keep expectations tempered. They're not going to be trailers for stuff that's like a year and a half out, things like that. But there will be a lot of announcements, and there will probably be a number of actors and actresses there live.
Yeah, so the Marvel stuff, obviously, this is the one. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to be queuing up. Or unfortunately, there is a rule that no one's allowed to queue up before 4:30 in the morning. This one is the hot ticket. This is the one everybody wants to go to. I can't wait. This one's going to be so cool.
I'm really curious how they're going to enforce the you can't be there before 4:30 thing, because I have a feeling that the people, the really hardcore people, are just going to pick a place to queue on their own and then shuffle in at 4:30, and it's just going to be an unofficial queue.
Yeah,
but Yeah, it's going to be weird. I'm not. I don't have a pass to this one. I am not getting up at 4 o'clock to get there in line at 4:30. I will catch the highlights later.
Yes, I am. I am going to be there. I will be in. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to this one. We're also going to get Star Wars, Lucasfilm. We're going to be doing. Now the thing is, there's more than that. It says Lucasfilm,
right?
So I'm expecting some new stuff from Willow, because obviously that's the next big release for them. Andor, I wouldn't be at all surprised if all the cast, because that's literally like 2 weeks away. So that would be a real like push for that.
And I would again say there'll probably be a clip from that, from like episode 1. That will probably show something off. It'll be an innocuous little sequence, but something to get you kind of hyped up for it.
It's 2 weeks away from it, so they're going to have to do it. Indiana Jones is coming out next year. We might see the first clip or first little bit of that one. Maybe a teaser trailer seems a little bit too far away, because that's July next year, so it might be a little. And maybe also confirmation of Mandalorian season 3 release or window. Maybe Ahsoka. And maybe even kind of give us an update on the next Star Wars film, and maybe announce a couple of series. You know, or Skeleton Crew. They could give us a sizzle reel, maybe. But I'm not expecting trailers at this point.
Rogue Squadron will probably have something there. They'll at the very least talk about it. Maybe talk about some of the production stuff and what its current status is, because that was announced a while ago. At this point, though, that they want to make sure people remember. No, Star Wars exists as movies as well as shows, because it's been a while since. I can't even remember the name anymore. Episode 9, the one that we all try to forget. And I have apparently succeeded at.
Yeah, you've done very well at that one. So I'm expecting some fun stuff there. We also got 20th Century Studios, so expecting something from Avatar 2. Trying to think what else they could. Maybe, I don't know what. I really don't know what they've got up the sleeve for next year at the minute with 20th Century. It's a little bit. Yeah,
but that's what'll make it exciting, is we have no idea what to expect from that one other than Avatar. They might announce like a Prey 2 or a sequel to Prey, but
maybe Planet of the Apes kind of confirm that one.
That's true. I forgot about that one. But if they do announce something for, that would be nice. Maybe they can get him up. You know what they should do is they should just have Ryan Reynolds get up there on stage and just twerk for a little bit and make fun of all the people who are mad at She-Hulk this week, and then we'll talk about that later. But if they make an announcement about Prey or something, keep in mind it will just be we've started working on it. There will not be anything else about that.
Yeah, I mean, because Alien is kind of being worked on a new series for FX, so it's not really the place. We're not really going to be hearing probably much about FX or Hulu or ABC during this. We can tell that by the kind of press releases going out this week that they've been mainly focused on kind of keeping that. So they're not going to see a lot of that yet.
So if there's a Q&A section, I expect you to ask, why are all the FX series delayed in the UK?
Yeah,
just in general.
I don't think they'll be doing any Q&As.
No, they definitely won't be.
No. Also, just a couple of other quick things, a quick run through. Friday morning, they're doing the Disney Legends Award ceremony. That will be live streamed. So you can watch that one on YouTube. And there's going to be presenting the cast of the main actors of Blackish, Grey's Anatomy, Frozen, plus also Chadwick Boseman will be getting an award, plus some other people. I wouldn't be at all. I got my little eye on this one and going, there could be a few little Disney nuggets, or there could be nothing. And there could be like, if they were going to announce like the Disney 100 plans for Disney Plus or some other bits and pieces of the future, there could be something in this because it's kicking off the Disney 100 celebration. I'm kind of 40% thinking they might do, 60% they won't. I'm very much like more, and every week it goes lower and lower.
Well, this is the keynote speech in addition to the Legends. I know that's what they advertise it. It's the Legends one, but this is also the opening of D23. Yeah. This is the first real panel. That I would not expect major announcements. This is not where they're going to give a release date for Fantastic Four. They already have a release date, but it's not going to be the big announcements. But there may be little bits and pieces to get you excited for the rest of the week, and they'll be talking about the rest of the panels. There is almost always a surprise at the Legends panel, but it is normally in the form of a person you weren't expecting to be there being there, or they'll announce something like it's the 100th anniversary, so we have a giant 4K box set of every Disney animated classic, including the the missing vaulted ones. I am just making that up, guys. Don't expect that.
And it's also going to be very interesting to see whether or not Bob Chapek get booed. I know a lot of people are looking at that it's
a rite of passage.
Yes, or it could be like we're going to put Bob Iger into the whole, and like Bob is coming home. I cannot see that happening at this one. This one's dude, Bob Chapek is not going to want to be overshadowed at this event.
No, and even if he does get booed or gets negative feedback, it still would be important for him to show up, because that's one of those things that, like with UK football, the manager always is getting booed and yelled at by the crowd, but he's still got to be there and stand up to it. And if he runs away, it's 30 times worse.
Yes. So that's going to be that one. Also, on Sunday, at 10:30, there is an hour-and-a-half presentation called A Boundless Future, Disney Parks Experiences and Products. So it's primarily a Disney theme parks one, but they might throw in some Disney Cruise Line. This one will be live streamed on all the platforms as well. I'll be there for this panel. They could easily sneak in the official announcement of the second season of like the Magic Kingdom, the Animal Kingdom show, maybe a new Disney documentary. I wouldn't be at all surprised if there was some little thing like that. I know there's a Mickey Mouse documentary that's got a panel at the same time. So that might be they might make it. I wouldn't be at all surprised if there was some theme park Disney Plus news there.
I could also see them doing something like all of the Disney hotels, so the ones owned by Disney at Walt Disney World or Disneyland and so forth, will have complimentary Disney Plus in your room kind of thing. I'm actually surprised they haven't done that.
So there's definitely, I think we're going to see some fun stuff announced there. So obviously you can watch that one live. There's also a princess concert in the evening or in the afternoon. There are other stuff going on the live stream. I think there's like a Bob's Burgers one. There's going to be The Simpsons. I don't think The Simpsons is not being live streamed, but there could be little announcements made, maybe like a limitless release date, because there's a panel for that one. Got Bob's Burgers. The Simpsons have said that there's an announcement that's too big for a press release.
Yes, I saw that too. It is The Simpsons. It's probably a little tongue-in-cheek. I wouldn't get too super excited for that, but there's certainly a possibility.
I mean, it could be a release date for the new series on Disney Plus. Maybe even they've got next day rights for the US. That might be a nice thing for them to do. So that one's I don't know. It could be anything. It could be I know a lot of people like a new video game. There could be any number of things.
I mean, unironically, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles recently got a new video game in the same style that the old Simpsons game could be. So I could actually see that, or Crazy Taxi, which was a great game back in the day. What I would really hope for, and I know will not happen, is some news about Futurama. But that is, even though they're by the same creator, that is not the Futurama panel. So we're probably not going to see much.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect so. I know they're working on it now. They've kind of released the first few episodes, because obviously that's going to be a Disney Plus international. I'd be surprised if they don't do something with that on there. So generally that is kind of the rundown of D23. There's going to be a 4-day run of bits and pieces. Going to be a lot of fun, a lot of news. So there's definitely a case of, I think, of looking at it, it's going to be like a 4-day feast of news coming out, rather than all at once. And that's why if it wasn't for D23, I'd be saying all the announcements, would see announcements on Disney Plus Day, but they've moved it here on purpose. And you got to remember, they've got tens of hundreds, maybe 100,000 fans have paid access to get into D23. This is all about getting back to things. They're going to be spending thousands on merchandise. They spent thousands to get there. They've gone to Disneyland. They're going to be going to the Oogie Boogie Bash. They're going to have the hotel. This is a big money maker for Disney. So that's why the push is more on the D23 Expo. I still kind of, and the Disney Plus Day kind of gets a little bit lost. It's kind of like a pre warm-up game. So it's going to be interesting.
It being immediately before D23 means gotta keep expectations tempered. That is the theme of today's show. Expectations tempered.
Right. Okay. So let's now talk about a couple of things that came out this week. So we got the first trailer for the Mighty Ducks season 2, which is coming on the 28th. Brand new episode. I like the look of it. It looks okay. It didn't blow me away. Didn't disappoint me. It's a bit of an odd one.
Yeah, it was okay. It reminds you it's out there. It lets you know it's, and then cool.
Yeah, didn't like blow your socks off, did it?
No. But then again, I mean, you're not.
And you're a hockey fan. You're the one that's supposed to be liking this stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm still kind of muted on season 1 being not that great. I do like that they are taking it in a different direction, though. At least, it's not just, well, we won last season and now we have to go up a level. Like we had promotion rather than relegation, or it's because that's not a thing in American hockey, obviously. And instead, they're going to a training camp, and that they have to prove that they're as skilled as the others, and et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, it's aimed for a younger audience. It's not really a serious show.
See, I thought this might have been a Disney Plus Day or an Epic Showcase reveal, and they jumped a little bit early on this one, but maybe that's for a good reason. It got it out there. We also had the same thing happen with the Mysterious Benedict Society Season 2, coming back on the 26th of October, 2-episode premiere, new episodes. Exact opposite for me, because this is like, I love it. This looks great. I can't wait for this series. This was one of the quirky little things of last year that I really liked. Season 2, bring it on. The trailer brought me straight in. I'm in. But I thought this was going to be an epic showcase. I surprised they did this one, but again, it would have got buried. It just would have got buried with all the Star Wars and Marvel news that day.
Yeah. As much as I would love for Benedict Society to get more and more awareness, it obviously, in amongst all the other things, it'll be a footnote in the people. And also Benedict Society was shown. This trailer, actually, I thought the trailer was just okay. But again, like the Mighty Ducks, it wasn't really supposed to be like, this is the most amazing show of all time. This is why you should watch it. It's more of a reminder. Hey, guys, we had Mysterious Benedict Society. Most of the people who watched it really liked it. Here's season 2. It's coming. Not that soon.
I think it was just that thing for that trailer of just like, oh, I'm excited to watch the second season. The Mighty Ducks was like, if this didn't exist, I still just it doesn't matter.
I honestly forgot that Mighty Ducks were going to get a second season until the trailer dropped. And the trailer, it doesn't have to be amazing. It doesn't have to blow your socks off and everything like that. But with how muted season 1 was, it had this much higher hurdle to clear for, yes, I am excited for season 2, especially with Emilio Estevez not returning.
Yeah. I also want to bring up Big Shot Season 2. This could be a Disney Plus Day reveal, or it might, because the trouble is, like, we got Labor Day on Monday, so that kind of delays everything in the US. I mean, they could do something on the Epic Showcase because both John Stamos and Yvette Nicole Brown have already been confirmed to be on the stage. So we know that they're going to be there. So it wouldn't be maybe too bad for them to kind of come out and go, oh, season 2, here you go. But I think that might not be like December, January time. I'm guessing that might get shoved down the lane a bit.
I would like if they don't overlap it with Mighty Ducks again, please. But
well, kind of Mysterious Benedict Society's kind of taking that lead, really.
Yeah, as it should, I think. And it's much more of it's got much more of a Disney feel to it.
Yeah.
Whereas Big Shot, at least, though, I think was probably the most successful of the series. Now it's obviously not making like Marvel success or Star Wars success, but out of their originals, I think Big Shot was the one that got the most people talking about it and the most people going, yes, this is the show that you should watch. So it does make sense for that one to get its own announcement rather than getting lumped in with the other two.
Yeah, I think it was smart for them to do it with Mysterious Benedict Society, kind of, because if there's something with maybe like, Percy Jackson and National Treasure and Santa Claus, that show would have kind of got lost a little bit. So that made a lot of sense. Right. So while we're carrying on with the Disney Plus Day stuff, a couple of quick things. So Birdie Gregory, The Epic Adventures of Birdie Gregory is a new series that's going to be dropping on Disney Plus. You're getting 5 episodes. A couple of them are set like out at sea. He's kind of chasing down dolphins and monsters of the deep. There's another one where he's like trying to capture some footage of some like birds of prey, some lions. This is a really, really good documentary series. It's a little bit kind of more mixed in, like with the making of how we sort of tend to get like the last 10 minutes of a documentary. This is kind of intertwined throughout the whole thing. So it's kind of like a vlog with him then showing us the footage of what he got. And it's very interesting. Birdie Gregory is he's got a lot of character, a lot of charisma. I also love the fact that because he's British, the narration is not. It's just so much better. What I've been saying this for years with National Geographic stuff of like, it feels a bit. This guy, he's full of energy. He's narrating it, and he just it's like that love comes through for animals, and he's explaining stuff, but it doesn't sound like he's talking down to you. He's kind of more of like a friend talking to you. Kind of, it's a really good series. I really recommend. Don't put this one on your watch list. It might not get watched on Disney Plus Day, but don't sleep on Epic Adventures. It is a really one of my favorite National Geographic ones of the year so far.
And if you are at D23, there is a panel presentation for it, I think, on Friday night. I can't remember.
Friday, 5:45, I think it is.
Yeah, so I would expect they'll be showing an episode or two and probably doing a Q&A. I wouldn't expect him to be there.
He is going to be there. He will be there.
So Q&A with him. I have not seen the episodes yet. I'm still debating whether I want to do that on Friday night. I have to admit the trailer did not grab me at all. I actually don't like the vlog style in general, especially in professional production, but I'll give it a chance. Obviously,
he's got a lot. He's using like lots of drones and submarines, and it's just a love. You can tell that it kind of gives me that vibe of, you know, like a Steve Irwin. We'll see. There's another guy here.
Jack Cousteau.
Yeah, that kind of, you know, he's got that. Yeah, he's kind of got. They've got a natural charisma and a love for nature, which comes across the screen, which you can't get through voiceover.
True. There was a lot of underwater stuff in the trailer, which is why it reminded me of Jacques Cousteau. So,
yeah, it is really good. We're also getting wedding season. We're getting the entire season of that is dropping on Disney Plus Day. It's going on Disney Plus around the world and on Hulu in the United States. I think that's a massive mistake for Disney. I think they should have popped this one on Disney Plus. It's a little bit brutal, but they need to kind of do this now. This is the first British drama. I can't wait to watch the last few episodes. I've only watched half the season so far. Loved the first half that I've seen. Do check out the interview I did with Gavin that I did last week. You'll want to check that review out, and I've got the review up. But yeah, please watch the interview with Gavin. He was so great. And on Wednesday or Tuesday this week, I've got another interview with a couple of other cast from the series as well. So definitely, and that was, it is a really good one. Nice mix of British and American, but more importantly, got a bit of British dark humor to it, a bit of a twist. This is a really good series. I'm in some way I've got to wait till I get home before I watch the rest of the episodes. But I've seen like 5 or 6 of them already. And they've only got like 2 to go, but I'm really looking forward to watching the finale for that one.
This was another one where the trailer just left me cold. I really did not like the trailer for this, but the early buzz for the show, including yours, but from other people I've seen online as well, is very, very positive.
Yeah,
I do like British humor, despite being an American. I've always enjoyed British humor, so I am looking forward to this, and I'm sad it doesn't really have a presence at D23, unfortunately. But
no,
not that you would expect it to. It is not a Disney show in any particular sense. So that's too bad, but it'd be nice.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one because kind of we definitely still feels like Hulu and 20th Century and all the rest of it. There is going to be a storytelling activation area with lots of things that I do want to get in and have a look around. But it still feels like a little bit like we can't talk about it too much, but we are going to bring him in at some point. You know, It's like, we have got an American Horror Stories event going on at one point. So they're slowly doing it, but it's a very touchy, slowly way of doing it.
Even years from now, though, I would expect that D23 will not lean heavily into these kind of shows because D23 is supposed to be very specifically Disney. When you picture Disney, these are the things that you think of, not American Horror Story.
See, I imagine if this was done in London, we would do, because I feel like
probably
like over here, like all our social medias and stuff have all very much, you go on Disney's like social media now, you will see stuff pushing, the Searchlight films and the 20, and you go on to Disney Plus's social media and you got Prey and American Horror Story right next to Mickey Mouse. There's no blend of it all. But in the US, it's still a little bit like higgledy-piggledy.
Yeah.
So there we go. So that's kind of like our run through of some of the D23 stuff. There was another bit of news I wanted to jump into just before we get into some of the reviews. A lot of talk this week of like a Disney Plus Prime, which is the idea that Disney are looking into like a membership program to kind of offer more opportunities to basically flog stuff to us, try and like get more people to be going on to Shop Disney, more people to be going on to like Disney cruises and stuff. There's a lot of floating. It was from the Wall Street Journal. No real details. Some of the details that they did say was that they're going to be wanting to put into Disney Plus like QR codes and maybe even links to merchandise that you can buy from Shop Disney. So say you're on The Mandalorian, you can click on it, or you do the QR code and it will take you to the Mandalorian section of Shop Disney, which makes a lot of sense. And I think this kind of ties in a little bit with the ad tier coming in. They can kind of do a little bit more flexibility. There's also been talk of them even selling exclusive merchandise like a Darksaber through Disney Plus for members only, and kind of integrating more Shop Disney into Disney Plus, which makes total sense. I mean, if you're going to be advertising other people's products, you might as well advertise your own. I mean, on YouTube, you get the little things going along the bottom telling you what to buy. I think a QR code on your big TV app is probably the easier way of doing it. On your actual phone, it might be easy just to have a link to a thing, but that's one aspect. They want to incorporate like Disney Vacation Club, Disney Cruise Line. No word really on how they do it. They've already got the D23 Club, which you pay a subscription to, and you get special discounts, special events, special merchandise. But I think they want to go much broader. So they don't know. It could be an entirely new scheme. It could be free. I personally feel like they're more likely to include this into Disney Plus too, because you've got 100. This is your biggest subscription system you've got. Get it in there. And also it's like, I mean, we had it on Disney Life before Disney Plus launched. You used to get like a certain number of free shipping codes every month, or you'd get 10% off the thing. And I used to use that all the time, and it was great, and it kind of, in some ways, of offering additional value while also trying to cream a little bit more money out your pocket.
Oh, and let's not pretend that Disney doesn't love to find all the little ways to nickel and dime us to death with those things. But this kind of integration, honestly, I'm surprised it hasn't already come. They do this with every single Disney thing that they've got, even like the Disney credit card, the Visa. You can get a card that's got Mickey Mouse on it and things like that. I get an email probably once a month with, we've got special deals at Shop Disney just for you, or in advance of when the other people will get them. And there's things at the parks, or there used to be, where if you flash your Disney Visa card, you can get into the front of the line to meet Kylo Ren and things like that. And I could see them doing things for that for Disney Plus, especially since we're getting that little card that you can pick up at will call over this next weekend.
Yeah, they're going to be doing things like that. I mean, just this past week in the Disneyland app, they've now added your D23 membership is now integrated in with that one. It's looking. As far as I'm concerned, I'm a Disney consumer. I buy all this stuff. So if they want to give me some free discounts, I'm already in. So I feel like, well, what harms? Like if I see an ad for a Disney Cruise Line, I've already kind of in the zone. I'm already, in the club. So why not do that? And if I can get some discounts to buy off stuff I was doing anyway, so it's good. Discounts off hotels, discount off cruises, anything like that. Merchandise. I am the key person that does all this stuff. So I'm a prime example.
Having said all that, though, if you are not the kind of person who is in on the merchandise, who wants to go on cruises or go to Disney World or take advantage of these things, I'm hoping that there will be no reason to join other than things like that, because there's nothing kind of worse than signing up for one of these like membership programs and you pay $5 a month or $100 up front or something like that, and then realizing a year later you used none of the benefits at all.
Yeah, well, I feel a little bit, because this is what I feel like with the D23 Club, of like, that's like $100 a month or $100 a year. Sorry,
I was going to say that's a lot.
It's $100 a year, and it's that kind of thing of like, this is not going to go mainstream. It's too expensive. You incorporating it into Disney Plus is a much better way of upselling you to more stuff. Because I'm not in the UK, get like a magazine, here's one I prepared earlier, or you get like a free gift and stuff. But for the only real reason I joined it was primarily because of the D23 Expo. It's I don't know if trying to run another membership, if they want to reach a casual audience, you might as well just use the biggest membership program you got. Why reinvent the wheel?
And if you want to make it as an incentive, you could include it in only the ad-free tier as like an extra reason to go to ad-free or only. I'm not saying that's what they're going to do. It's just like one of the options available to them.
I think sometimes the simplest way is the best way. Incorporate it in, give free shipping on Shop Disney, give a 10% discount on hotels and on cruises. It's little things like that which don't really mean much and people might not use them, but it can make people feel better if they do use it. And I think just using, like we're planning on going into, or I'm planning on going into Disneyland on Thursday. And because I'm a Disney Plus member on Disney Plus Day, I can get in half an hour earlier, and I'm going to use it because, I'm going to be up because of jet lag. But and then, like you say, we're going to be able to do some stuff. It's like, well, why not? We're already members. Why not use it? So I'm happy with this. I mean, personally, like with Amazon Prime, the main reason I have it is because of the free shipping, because it's so convenient. It's the shows and the movies. There's not really much on there I want to watch.
No, I know that they get some buzz. Like Lord of the Rings came out this past week, the new show for that.
Also, just to say, the new Sly Stallone film I watched on it the other day was really good. I really enjoyed it. The superhero movie.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that one.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
They're slowly building up their library, but yeah, the reason people have Amazon Prime is typically for the shipping or one of the other services attached to it. The video is kind of incidental to that, but
yes,
we'll see if anything comes of this.
Yes. So before we move on to the last segment of the day, so just a big shout out and hello to all of our supporters on Patreon and YouTube. Thank you so much for your continued support. So big thank you to Babka. We've also got Paul, Daniel, we've got Elliot, Aero G, Khalid, Red Mars Band, Cody, Chris, Jacob, Darren, Lauren, Sarah, The Juice, and Andrew. And then also big hello to Chuck, David, Mama. We've got Raphael, Adam, Dana, Ricky, Dave. We've got My VCR Still Works, Bina, Joshua, Dawn, Martin, and Sarah. So thank you so much for your continued support. And as I said, make sure you get your questions in for this week's Q&A. You're still able to submit them, but every subscriber is going to be able to have a little bit of a go on the Q&A this week because it's Disney Plus week. So why not? So let's now talk about the finale. Oh, not the finale. Episode 3 of She-Hulk. What did you think of this episode?
I really loved this episode. I had a lot of fun with this. It was really fun to see them kind of finally leaning into the humor a bit more and just having the absurdity of the entire thing. Plus, both of the two trials they had going on were a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. I felt like this is the episode where the show kind of like you say, it kind of established itself what it's trying to do. And that little bit of and this when we would like all the previews, like with like myself talking about how it felt like a sitcom and it had some comment. A lot of people are like, well, it's not feeling like it. It's like, yeah, but this is the episode, and next episode is going to be similar, where you get that feeling of it feeling like feeling a little bit more funky, a little bit more fun. And I feel this is the thing with She-Hulk. I think it's like people that are serious Marvel, people that like serious Marvel stuff don't like this. But if you're more casual and you like a bit of fun and you get a little bit of humor, She-Hulk is just a little bit more lighthearted, and they get it. If you get it, you get it. But if you don't, it can be a little bit of a funny series.
Yeah, and a lot of the humor is actually a bit more subtle than I was expecting. Subtle is not the right word for it. It's a little less like in your face. It's not big jokey humor. It's more the absurdity of the situation, like Emil Blonsky having a little harem of women who are following him around, and in very much a like Charles Manson kind of style. And just the little interactions they have with that, they're not overtly funny. It's not over the top, but the way they're waving at him and he's kind of like waving back at them. Yeah, exactly like that.
And you just know he's still got some sneaky side bit going on the side of some plans.
Oh, we're going to see him again, I'm sure.
I think he's going to be one of the Thunderbolts. I think he's going to be a shoo-in for Thunderbolts.
That if they're going to go with it, I suspect that the Thunderbolts is going to be this is our mirror of the Avengers, in which case it's going to be like Hawkeye, Black Widow, and things like that, but not the real ones. It's going to be the secondary ones. But also, I loved Wong in this. Wong, where he's just casually admitting to breaking a person out of prison in the middle of a parole hearing, and everyone's just like, "You realize you just like you just." because I realized that the second he said it, obviously, and then them bringing it up later is like, are they going to bring this up? And he's like, yeah. Oh, I got to go. Bye. And you can't stop him. He's a sorcerer supreme. He can just go wherever he wants, literally.
Yeah,
he was great in this episode.
It's it's just fun. I feel like it's because I watched it again yesterday morning, and it's just like it's a fun series. I'm not taking it. It's not. You don't need to take it seriously. There's probably going to be a little bit later on at some point, I imagine, when we get into some more episodes and stuff. But yeah, it's fun. I am looking forward to, after getting back from D23, of like getting a new episode and being able to kind of jump in onto, because we've still got 5 episodes more of the season yet, so we've still got another 6 plus weeks, 5-6 weeks. 9
is
episodes.
It 9? It's 9 episodes, and this was the third. So
yeah.
Okay. But there does seem to be a little bit of an ongoing thread going through here too that they're starting to develop. We had Hulk is going off to be with the Sakarans, and now we had the Wrecking Crew show up at the end of this episode with their alien technology.
Yeah.
I appreciated the Wrecking Crew. They are such a stupid set of villains that they deserve to be made fun of the way they were in this episode.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really aware of it until this week, because because this is the thing, sometimes when you watch them in early, if you're not too sure, if you're not aware of them being, I'm going to be honest, I had no idea who Megan Stallion was. So
I also did not know that one.
So to me, it was like they did all this stuff, and I'm like, well, she was just a character. And of course, then I found out, no, she's actually this big mega pop star. And it's like, oh, okay. But yeah, the twerking kind of broke the internet.
Yeah, the twerking became the focus point of the internet, and I honestly don't get it. I thought it was a stupid scene, but it's intentionally stupid.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Sometimes it's like I forgot about it in like 10 seconds. The second it ended, I forgot about it, moved on, and it's just like, it is an odd one with She-Hulk. It is such a strange thing of how people are with this series. Of just like, I think it's a lot of fun. It's so different from if you look at the 3 we've had this year, they're all so different. And I like that. I like this one's feeling just, it doesn't feel the same. There was still that major problem of this, and this is one thing I brought up in the review a couple of weeks ago. And this had that scene in it of where she walks into the office as She-Hulk, and it looks horrendous. It looks like a video game. And
I wouldn't go quite that far, but yes, the CGI for She-Hulk, especially in casual scenes where she's just kind of standing there or just walking, it's not up to what we would want. But it is a TV show. The budget, it has to be stretched out a bit. I'm willing to give it some leniency, but at the same time, we have to acknowledge the effects were not up to what they needed it to be for this to not look like the Uncanny Valley.
If this was a movie, this would have been really badly. In some way, what I think they made the mistake of was saying, the boss kind of saying, well, we want you to be in She-Hulk mode in the office. I feel like they should have not done that and kept her in human mode when she doesn't need to be, because she's not under threat. And then that would have saved some of the budget, and it just would have. I go back to the 1970s show. We all waited for him to become the Hulk for that couple of minutes, because in the anticipation for it, because you didn't see it all the time. When she's just walking around like getting coffee, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, but it is in character for her. It does hold to the character. Now, obviously, the age-old, do you have to be true to the comics in that sense? But it is supposed to be the one thing that sets her aside from her cousin, which is she can be in Hulk mode. She's perfectly rational in Hulk mode. She doesn't have these huge anger spikes. She might be a little more prone to it, but she's not a raging, mindless beast like he is or was. And it is the thing that separates them. But I also agree, if you know that your special effects are not up to the task, no one would complain if she was just walking around as Jennifer Walters the entire time.
Yeah, sometimes less is more. Sometimes less is sometimes, and it would have. I just feel like a little bit more Jennifer in normal human mode would help this series kind of, when she does turn, it becomes more of a thing. Like if she's on the date and she's in, like She-Hulk mode, it makes sense because of the story part of it. But just being sat in the office talking to Wong, there was no benefit of her being in Hulk mode.
Yeah, and she's already in Jennifer mode more in this series than she is in the comics in the first place. You almost never see her as Jennifer in the comics.
No. Like I said, it's for me, this is more of a like it's basically it's a realistic version of like going like just cut it back a little bit. It looks a little bit better. It's like a Hulk. Seeing Hulk in Bruce mode is just cheaper. It's just, and sometimes that works better. Sometimes that just works better to
you have to do what fits within the story, but also what fits within the budget. Now, again, it's not horrendous. It's not like we're watching like the Langoliers or something like that from way back, which is Pac-Man eating through reality. It's such a bad movie, but it's so stupidly fun. But yes, the technology is not where they needed it to be for TV. On the flip side, you can also make an argument, though, the technology will never get there if they don't do things like this, where they improve it, they find out what works, find out what doesn't. That's always the thing with technology, is you have to have that learning period of what works and what doesn't. This does not work, but it could work if they develop new techniques and learn how to use it properly. So it's a learning, growing pain right now. Maybe if we get She-Hulk season 2, they improve the technology and we forget that we had this complaint until we go back and rewatch season 1 anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm loving this series. I think it's really good. It's just fun. Yes, there's gonna be a lot of good stuff. So obviously next week there won't be a traditional podcast because I'm gonna be speaking with with Casey about shows and stuff. In 2 weeks' time, we will be doing our normal podcast, and we'll probably talk a little bit about some of the new releases. I'm trying to think what out because it feels a long time away, but it is. But at the minute, I don't know if it's Andor, is it, or
Andor is at the end of the month, but obviously there'll be a bunch of stuff dropping on Disney Plus Day, but most of it is older material. Like I'd love to talk about Thor: Love and Thunder, see if I still like it as much as I did back then, especially with the internet kind of being like, it's not that great. Well, I'm still like, what? I loved it a lot. So
it's and I mean, if you check out the website on Wednesday, there will be a review of Pixar's Cars on the Road, and on Thursday there will be a review of Pinocchio. And She-Hulk I've already seen there. So I'm kind of in an advantage where I've kind of seen most of it. So it's actually really like it's just making my week easier because I've kind of haven't got the things of it all. But yeah, so keep an eye out for that one there. But yeah, so obviously next week we're gonna try and do some stuff at D23. If you are at D23 and you see us, feel free to give us fist bump. We'll be all there. Give us a shout at us, say hello. Don't because ultimately you're gonna recognize us more than we're gonna recognize you. Because I'm not gonna your little icons. We've got no chance of if you don't mention it, we're not gonna know.
And I'm not on Facebook or Twitter at all, so I don't even know your icons. People, I will not know you. It would be kind of creepy if I did.
Yeah. So if you do see us, just feel free to give us a shout, say a wave, we'll say hello. We're more than happy. It's gonna be weird. I'm gonna be honest. For me personally, I'm gonna be 5,000-6,000 miles away from home, and it's gonna be This is the first kind of big event. Because of COVID, we've not really had all these opportunities and stuff. So it's going to be a big, fun week. Also, this week, carry on.
Sorry, I just wanted to add on to that point, not just for us, but for everybody. If you are at D23, do remember that for a lot of people, this is the first time they are going to be in any form of truly crowded situation in the last 2.5 years. Even if you're not concerned about COVID, there are going to be a lot of people whose personal boundaries are much bigger than they used to be. So try to be courteous of people at D23, even if you're kind of in the, it's done. We're either going to get it or we're not. Not everyone's in that same mindset. Just be polite with other people.
I'm gonna be honest. I've picked up some hand gel to take with me. I've been to the cinema and I've been on the tube and on a train, and so I've been in Paddington stations. So I have been. I think that's helped being back in being in London a few times at premieres and stuff, where I'm a little bit more used to. But yeah, it is going to be a little bit overwhelming. That you are supposed to. They do recommend you wear masks. So I am going to have some on me if I feel a little bit, but my problem is going to be it's going to be so hot for me because it's going to be. So I will have mine with me. So yeah, so it's definitely something to be aware of, and I think we should all. I mean, in general, I always kind of quite liked everyone to be at least. But I live in a small coast. I live in a small coastal town, so therefore I'm more used to a bit more space. If you live in London or New York, you're more used to less personal space. I know when I get on the tube, I know like my family, my wife and my brother and stuff, my brother hates it. Just, because we're just not used to it. I'm a bit more used to it because I've done it a lot more. But yeah, but definitely say hello. Yeah. Are we doing it?
Yeah, I will not be doing the day now. It will be awkward for everybody, and enjoy that. Yeah, no. But definitely, yeah, do say hello.
Yes. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be weird. I'd like to say we're gonna be meeting for the very first time in like real world, which is gonna be a bit odd because having done this for 7-8 years now of every week, it's gonna be a bit fun. So yeah, so we're looking forward to it. We're gonna be at Disneyland on Disney Plus Day, at least I'm planning on being there about half the day. I know in my jet lag I'm gonna be a little bit things, but it's gonna be fun. It's kind of, I'm still a little bit torn of Disney Plus. It kind of ruined my Disneyland day. I'll be honest, it was a bit like, one of the busiest days of the year for Disney Plus news is on the day I wanted to have a day off and go to Disneyland. It was just like, so yeah. So we'll be there. But in some ways, it's kind of fun. It's like, because it's like I might never like experience a Disney Plus day in a theme park. Normally I wouldn't normally go to. I like, if they announced it like in November and it's in Disneyland Paris, I wouldn't be thinking, I'll go specifically for Disney Plus Day. So I'm kind of like, it'll be nice to see how all this works, kind of, see all these blue images.
Yeah, we're gonna get you a blue churro just so you can experience.
I'm gonna be honest, I am not touching it with a barge pole. American food is so full of colorings, it sets off migraine, so I'm really fussy. There was all this Halloween food that came up for Disneyland. I'm just like, and I'm going through this list on the Disney Park blog and going, what's with the colors? It's just like, I can't eat any of this.
It is a very American thing. We do love to make our food themed after whatever the event is, but don't worry, there will be non-blue churros as well.
It was just like, yeah, not for me. Thank you very much. I think because I when I was at Disney, like when I was a teenager, we did put down that all the coloring had set off my migraines and it just knocked me off my feet for 2 days. So I'm going to be so cautious. And it's just like, I saw all those like the Disneyland churros and I'm just like, no chance, just not worth the risk.
To be fair, most of the time when I'm getting snacks at the park anyway, it's like the grilled corn or something like that. I love getting that over by like the It's a Small World ride, and churros are normally not my go-to, nor the similar things like cotton candy and so on. But
yeah. It's gonna be fun. So we're gonna have a really interesting week coming up for the D23 Expo and Disney Plus Day. And so, as I said, keep track of the website. Follow us on Twitter. Definitely follow us there, and we'll be posting videos. It's all going to depend on the Wi-Fi in the hotel. There's no point in sugarcoating it. It's like how the Wi-Fi is really going to be the indication of how much news you get.
Yes.
But on that note, guys, thank you very much, and we shall see you guys soon. Later.
See you soon.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. Also, a huge thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and also on our YouTube channel memberships. And I shall see you guys in another video. Laters.